My name is Martha Ruth Pope Collier. You all can call me Mattie, but I'm probably best known as Big Mother. This is a picture taken on my 50th wedding anniversary with my husband, Jesse Collier, or Big Daddy as the children call him. I'd love to tell you about our life together here in Tyler County, so why don't I just start at the beginning. I was born near Woodville on July 26, 1865. My father, A.E. Pope, came to Texas in 1864. He settled in the Twiddle Creek area, and he owned a water-operated gin and grist mill. Now, my father was a firm believer in education. He started working with us at home, and then he sent us to school in Woodville. My brother, S.K.D. Pope, went on to study at the University of Texas Medical School in Galveston, and then at medical schools at Tulane, in Louisville, and in Chicago. He eventually came back to Texas and practiced medicine in Hardin, Jefferson, and Tyler counties. I continued my education in Bethel, Georgia. When I finished, the family got a family friend to escort me on my trip back to Texas. That family friend was Jesse Collier. Jesse was born in Blakely, Georgia, August 29, 1859. His grandfather, Benjamin Collier, was known for having given the land on which they built the early County Georgia courthouse in Blakely. Now, Jesse was on his way to Texas to visit his father's brother, Uncle Zachariah, or Z.C. Collier. Uncle Z.C. owned the general store out in Town Bluff, and he was really helped develop Tyler County. Now, Uncle Z.C. also had a son named Jesse. To distinguish between those first cousins, folks referred to them as Texas Jesse and Texas Jess and Georgia Jess. Now, when Georgia Jess and I first married, we lived out in Town Bluff for a while, but we eventually settled here on my father's land out at Pope's Mill. That trip from Georgia to Texas was very special. Great way to get to know each other. It was so special to us, in fact, that we named some of our children after towns that we visited along the way. Now, speaking of children, you may have seen a picture of a big group of our children and their families that was taken when everyone gathered to celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary. That picture is most of our 15 children, their spouses and the grandchildren. You know, the grandchildren aren't pictured there. I reckon are off having fun, though I suspect that David and Perry may be up to their usual tricks. You know, catching frogs to scare the girls, dropping the cat down the well again, or even setting a wagon on fire. Those boys. Woo! Now, most weekends, any number of our 15 children and their families come to visit us here at Pope's Mill. To make sure that everyone has a place to sit at the dinner table, we had a man who lives in the woods nearby make us some chairs. This is one of those chairs right here. These chairs cost $15 each, but they ensure that every family member has a place to sit for one of our 3 meal seatings. First, the men eat, then the children get to eat, and finally, the women. But there's always plenty of food for everybody. In fact, one of my granddaughters likes to tell about the time when her family came to visit and she heard me say that I was worried that there might not be enough fried chicken for everybody. Next thing she knew, I'm out in the backyard killing another chicken and plucking it to make some more. Or the time when all the women sat down at the table ready to eat, they looked around and said, "Now, where on earth did Big Mother go?" "Well, I was outside picking berries so I could make us a hot cobbler." I don't know what's so special about all that. Just wanted to make sure everybody had plenty to eat. Now, I'm really proud of the fact that our farm provides everything that we need to survive. We've got plenty of fruits and vegetables in season, respectable amounts stored and canned for later use. We've got cows, pigs, chickens, plenty of wild game like wild turkeys, venison, fish. We have bees to make honey. We grow sugar cane to make cane syrup. And Jesse's really good about estimating our needs. Very conservative when he talks about our life, except when he starts his fishing stories about the one that got away. You know, we have just about everything we need right here on our farm. The only things we don't have really are tea, coffee, sugar, and flour, and the children bring those when they come to visit us. Now, after everyone's eaten, the men go off to play 42. And the women visit while we wash and put away the dishes. The girls especially like to talk about my dressmaking abilities. You see, I just take the fabric and spread it out on the floor. And then I take my scissors and cut out the pieces to make my dress. I don't use a pattern, I don't need one. I just picture what I want to make and then I cut it out, make it. Again, I don't see why that's so special. It's just another example of how we're self-sufficient here at Pope's Mill. And then after everyone has finished their tasks, and if the weather's nice, we go out for a nice walk in the woods. Women all enjoying nature, and the men always on the lookout for wildlife. Jesse's wonderful about keeping the young ones entertained, too. Sometimes he'll bring along the wagon so that they can pick up all the pine knots for us to gather for the winter. And sometimes he'll take them along and let them turn the wheel to grind the sugar cane into syrup. Now, it's been a wonderful life here with Jesse in Tyler County. Simple, but happy. One that would have never happened without that fateful journey from Georgia more than 50 years ago.